Merry Christmas and welcome to this edition of the Fireside Chat with Neo. This time we're going to be talking about the 2025 reset, which means we're going to look at all of the things that happened in 2024 and the kind of cascading effects they're going to have into the next year. So put your Christmas hats on and let's take a look at what's going on in the markets and how that's going to play out in 2025. So the first theme that we're going to look at is elections. 2024 was a year of elections, and according to Pew Research, almost 60 countries went into the polls this year, and there was a widespread feeling about anti-incumbency. But there's also been other political rifts that you've seen, whether it's what's happening in West Asia or what has happened with Syria or what's happening in Bangladesh, or there's been big political shifts that have happened across the world. And in 2025, what we'll have to pay attention to is how this changing geopolitics actually affects trade. That's going to be an important theme and something that we need to closely monitor. The second big theme that we have to watch out for is the United States, because if we look at what's happened post the election period, you've seen a lot of confidence in US markets, you've seen the dollar strengthen, and this could be a trend that continues into 2025, broadly because Trump's policies are oriented towards a stronger US economy, which would relate to a stronger dollar. And also you're seeing higher FII confidence in the US. So flows are going back there and the demand for the dollar has actually come up. So while global trade may not be fully dollar denominated and you are seeing bilateral trade agreements crop up, you could also see a stronger dollar, and that could be something that we need to pay more attention to. And while Trump's policies have all been growth focused in the past, I think we need to also understand that there could be second order inflation effects that come in from these policies. And that is something that would be an interesting parameter to keep an eye on in 2025. And that is something that we could keep an eye on because inflation could be hitting a new normal, which is higher than what it's been in the past. The third important theme that we need to pay attention to in 2025 is sources of performance. So if you've had investments that have performed really well in the recent years, we need to understand what contributed to this performance and whether it's sustainable in 2025 or not. So if we look at US markets, there's been very narrow performance in certain segments, and in other segments, that performance is yet to play out. If you're having broad-based growth recovery, you're likely to see a lot more opportunities where growth can come from and performance as well. At the same time, if we've had certain themes that have overheated where the expectations are much higher, if there is a reset of expectations and sentiment shift, then you may not see a replication of performance in the future. So 2025 proves to be an interesting year. There are a lot of themes that we should be looking into, and there are many ways in which we can adapt our investment strategies to create wealth. If you'd like to know more about how you can create wealth through emerging market allocations, then talk to our team at Neo and we'll be able to help you set a multi-asset strategy that works well for you in all market conditions.